What's the good word, everyone? Jets Fly Squad in the building. I promise. I'm going to try to get us close to starting time.
The ship has sailed.
Moving forward, but as y'all know, this is we could really name this the lunch hour special, right? We popping through a lot of these during work and whatnot, but we appreciate y'all coming through. Already got a few people in the building. 10-star VR Diesel, Johnny Jimenez. I see you, Dano. Good looks on coming through. We'll probably see some more people as we actually get into this, but I'm gonna tell y'all now, based on kind of what I've seen behind the scenes as we was chatting, I think I got the edge here. We got a full mock draft popping off. My boys Gunny and Italy Jet, they got a draft fatigue. I haven't I haven't been in the mock draft trenches like that, so we'll see. I haven't seen any of Gino's mock drafts. I've seen 2 or 3 of Gunny's more recent ones with some guests though, but we'll see what kind of fresh perspectives we get here today. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get things popping. Do y'all have while I'm getting this popped up, do y'all have a particular strategy? Because I don't think I've actually seen you be the one that's completed your own full mock draft yet. And then Gino, I haven't seen anything. So what's kind of strategy that you guys are heading into here?
Yeah, so for me this year, I think it's all about making Aaron Rodgers' life as easy as possible. And I think you can do that in one of 2 ways. You can either protect that man, make sure he has plenty of support in the trenches in terms of the offensive line, making sure he stays upright, has plenty of time to make the decisions he needs to make as the offensive coordinator and quarterback of the New York Jets. Or you take the approach of giving him an additional weapon to target. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers is one of the most highest IQs in NFL football. The guy understands defenses. He can read coverages. He can read defenses. He understands how to get the ball to the right individual at the right time. So individuals who can get open rather quickly can be a asset as well in this scenario. But with that situation, I think you would then have to bring in some free agent assistance on the offensive line. So my strategy is pretty much Aaron Rodgers. Whether we protect him or give him another weapon, that is my go-to.
Oh, it's okay. My turn. As honestly for me, all offensive line, but in the later rounds, I'm looking more safety, looking more D back. But in the beginning, you gotta give him weapons. You gotta give him offensive line. He's very quick with throwing very quick to his sides to down the field. I'm all about Aaron Rodgers in the beginning, but then I do like some safety and linebacker options in the end. You're on mute, DK. That's why. There you go.
Touche. I think I don't particularly have a strategy for once in a blue moon. When we had walked through that last exercise of kind of thinking about what position groups we would attack rather than players, when we chatted last week, kind of opened my eyes. There's a lot of avenues we can go. I think obviously we want to be offensive heavy here, but I think things are fairly open for us. It doesn't really matter what order we necessarily want to attack things. So if nothing else, I would say I'm trying to look for our guys. I think the mock drafts I've done before, I've looked for value. And I don't think that's necessarily what we need. If we feel like we can come out of this particular draft class with 7 future starters by year 2, year 3, I'm all for it. I don't need to be the guy that says this time around, holy crap, we got Joe Tippmann in the second. Like if we need to grab him in the first, grab him in the first. So with that said, full 7. In terms of trade downs, I'll say if we're not universal on this, then we just keep it as is. I'm thinking essentially we'll try to keep along the lines of the trends we've seen from Joe Douglas at least. He hasn't traded down in the first yet, but if we all agree, we'll pull it off. What's another example? He hasn't really drafted a safety in his tenure. I think Ashton Davis is the only guy. Was a 3rd-round kid, and I think that was after we were revamping the whole safety room at that point. So nonetheless, What do we have so far? So Caleb Williams at the top, Drake May, Jaden, 3 quarterbacks off the board. Marvin's gone. Joe Alt's already picked up. Neighbors is gone. So pretty much from what I hear a lot of people say, that classic worst case scenarios on the board. I'm not in that group. I think there was actually a number of prospects I would have loved picking at 10, even if the rest of the world would have thought it was a slight overvalue. But we'll kind of snake this. So I'm keeping track of everybody's picks internally. But Gino, I'll let you kick off who we actually select here. Me and Gunny will also pick who our guys are, and we'll see how different our draft classes come out. So who would you take? Actually, let me see what we had for our offers.
Yeah, let's the trade offer real quick.
So going back to 29th, we pick up a second and a third from Detroit and a future second. Or we have a swap with the Dolphins, go back to 21, also pick up a second, and then we get next year's second and
It's
fourth.
Miami. That's going to be a no. We're not helping them.
I never want to help anyone from the AFC.
Nope.
So
Was those only 2 options?
The line, yeah, only 2 options we got, which makes sense, I would imagine,
wow.
because I think normally the crazy offers you get is when Rome Odunze is still on the board, or you have like Joe Alt there. But
so 29, pick 61, 73.
Second round for just 1 pick. Well, definitely no to the Dolphins. So
yeah, hell no.
You can take that out. This is tempting as hell right here. But who's the offensive line though? Who's the offensive line available though?
Fashanu's available, and that's like my OT too. Fuaga's there.
Right. So yeah, pretty much our pick of anybody not named Joe Alt.
Not named Joe Alt, yeah.
Wide receiver. Who's at wide receiver? If you
wide receiver is
I just want to
Brian Thomas.
Brian Thomas Jr. There.
Thomas Coleman, Worthy,
Mitchell gonna be there.
Yeah, I like those guys. Oh my God.
You know what? I think we take the pick. I think. Man, this situation.
I think I'm gonna.
No, I don't know.
I think you got to go with an O-line right here, no matter what. Are we good with that?
No trade.
Yeah. Nah, I think in this situation, you're looking at right after you lose the top 3 wide receivers, everybody else has so many question marks, and yeah, they can do some things great, but they're all pretty much, you know what I'm saying, going to be question marks, and they're
for sure.
I don't know if Brian Thomas would be my only other conversation with Brian Thomas, who I think has potentially one of the highest ceilings of the wide receivers in this class, but I'm not grabbing him at 10, and he's not going to be there at 29. So Fashanu right now is another guy who I think can come in there, learn behind a Tyron Smith, and step in if need be if Tyron goes down. I think you go with the safe / smart choice here. You grab Fashanu, and then you're going to have to look at a weapon in round 3.
By the way,
I agree with
for
that.
those at home, and I guess for us, because there's a few different mock draft simulators I've been watching and playing around with myself. I only selected PFN because they have the most draft eligible players on their list of guys. So like if you go to NFL Draft Buzz, if you go to PFF, they don't have guys like Quantez Stiggers on there. They don't have a couple other tackles that, in my opinion, are like mid-round guys that they have way down as like, you know, a priority free agent. So there may be some names as you guys get into day 3 that'll be there in this particular draft class. Just be aware of that. But Gino, as you were mentioning, where are you leaning with this?
Yeah, I didn't. The Lions one was tempting. I never want to help an AFC East team. The wide receivers, those types of wide receivers, if we had to pick in the second round, I would probably go more towards that or the third round. I think you got to go O-line here. That was always my number 1 option, and I think the Fashanu is the right pick here for a 10.
Okay, so Olu Fashanu. Gunny, where are you leaning with this?
Yeah, I'm with Gino on this one. I think in this scenario, the only other wide receiver you can even have the conversation about is Brian Thomas Jr., right? But at the end of the day, I don't think you reach for him at pick 10. And if we trade back to pick 29 with the Lions, we're not getting him. He'll be gone. So at that point, you know, you're in the Ladd McConkey, the Aiden Mitchell area, and I think in terms of value, at offensive tackle right now, a guy who can go ahead and learn behind Tyron Smith. And I see what you're saying, Dano, about next year's draft in terms of some offensive tackle weapons. The thing is this, man, the ability, I think we're bypassing the value of having a guy like a Fashanu learn behind Tyron Smith, who is a technician and a three-time All-Pro. That to me is something that we don't do enough as an organization. And to have Fashanu learn behind one of the greats, I think will go a long way in terms of making sure this is a pick that works for us, vice another situation where we bust out on. So I think in terms of long-term, short-term, and value, you got to go the offensive tackle route, and Fashanu to me is the best guy available right now on the board.
And keep in mind, we have a lot of durability on this offensive line. All three guys that we just picked up can get injured in any moment. You need backups. This is the right call at 10.
I thought there would have been more variation here, honestly. So I'm the only one not in this camp. I've been thinking very, very hard about this scenario. I would choose, we'll go Olu for the sake of what I mentioned. I would actually take Troy Fautanu. So in the vein of kind of what Gunny was mentioning, when you want to think short, mid, long term, Troy Fautanu was a guy that before people knew about his arm length, he got a lot of Peter Skoronski type comparisons. And I think they were valid. He's a guy that as a guard prospect, I think just like you can say with the Talisa Fuanga, would probably be Pro Bowl to All-Pro type player. Tackle, maybe Pro Bowl is his ceiling, but nobody really knows. But I think he's a guy that you give him the shot there to fail. So he can still be the future after Tyron Smith or even a Morgan Moses to me, because I do think he can play everything but center. But I'm also not 100% locked into anybody not named Joe Tippmann, which sounds crazy, but AVT coming off his injury, still a little concerning for me. And John Simpson, I thought, was the best impact player on our offensive line, assuming he worked out. But I also still want to give him a challenge. So I think Troy Fautanu, if there's any weakness in this offensive line in terms of day one starters, he's giving you a quality starter on the field day one. And then if not, he's giving you an elite backup option at every single position but Joe Tippmann's.
But do you feel that way about him? I mean, I think he came in like 309, 310 at the combine, like really, really light, man, for an offensive. And I like him a lot in terms of what you're saying. I just think at the next level, I mean, yeah, I get it. He's going to have access to some NFL caliber weight rooms, but man, his weight for me, going up against some power rushers, defensive tackles, edge rushers, bro, I feel like he's going to get bullied quite a bit early on. But that's my hesitation on grabbing him so high at pick 10 is because of his stature, so to speak.
The only reason I give him the edge realistically over Olu is kind of twofold, right? Mentality wise, Fautanu is very close to Fuaga. He's a guy that wants to go out there and try to rip a head off. He's hitting people instantly. He's burying whoever's across from him. So I love the fact that he kind of has Fuanga's mentality, but he's already played as a blindside protector. So you don't really have to project as much with a guy like Fuaga. From play strength wise, I give him the edge over Fashanu. You take a look at the comparison between the two. Fashanu's in a better environment, that's conducive to improving strength over there at Penn State. And yet he's not one of those freak guys that people talk about being able to go out there and bury him and stuff. You also keep in mind, I think Fautanu is one of the top 5 guys in terms of arm length. Longer arms than Joe Alt, longer arms than Fashanu. Doesn't have the hand concerns in terms of size that Fashanu has. So I look at Fautanu as being a guy that just needs a little bit more polish from a physical perspective. I don't have as many question marks as I would have with a guy like Fashanu.
Fair enough.
And the clock just went to the Vikings, so we didn't get a pick.
You scared the hell out of me. I was going to say, did I make a pick and we moved off? I would hate to reset this. All right, so Olu, that means we are going to have to wait all the way to the third round. Trades. Gunny, you'll be up next to see who we go with here, but let's see who's come off the board.
Man, I had you scared on that one, didn't I?
Yeah. You shook me. I was like, what happened? Just trying to pay attention to the comments. So JJ McCarthy's gone. No surprise, guys. Here.
Mitchell's gone.
Well, I got Chiefs traded up. Interesting. Penix is off.
Thomas Jr. is gone.
Thomas.
Coleman's gone.
So receiver run.
Worthy's gone.
JPJ, I don't think really.
McConkey's gone too. Look at that.
So second round, we're seeing a little.
Was going to be a late first, early second round guy, man. The kid can do it all at the next level.
Some of these names I'm seeing that we just missed out on is tough. Okay, so there's a pretty big receiver run. We're not going to see any quarterbacks really fall to us. There are some interesting names here from a defensive standpoint, but I know a lot of guys would rather wait till day 3. So
stop playing. Let's just pull up the wide receivers.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what you're trying to tell me right now. Just go to we all agreed the third round was going to be wide receivers.
Oh, man. All right.
Oh, man. I mean, I think I know what I'm going to go with.
But here's some of the top guys we're looking at.
I'm looking at two guys. What I'm looking at. I'm looking at Michigan, Roman Wilson, and I'm looking at Washington, Malik Washington. Those are my two guys I'm looking at.
Yeah, but in this scenario, Roman Wilson dropping all the way down to here is very surprising.
Oh, I agree. I had him at the late second round.
I got a mid-second round grade on Roman.
I don't think that's too surprising considering who went ahead of him. Pearsall, Corley, Devontae
I'm not
Walker.
a fan of Pearsall like a lot of people are, man. I don't know.
I'm not either.
I don't understand.
I think he's probably the third or fourth best like slot guy, but he's not one of like my guys per se.
You know what, Gunny, though, out of all my mock drafts I have, I actually kind of agree with DK. All my mock drafts, I have seen Roman Wilson drop to the third. I've actually picked him up plenty of times in the third. So, but even though I had him go late second round, though, but he was always like, I would say 60% of my time, he was always falling to me in the third round without a trade. So that's kind of, it's up and down for me, I guess. But what do you think? I know you really like Malik Washington.
I love Malik Washington. Yeah. So I'm in a bad situation right now because
so
I love
projection wise, they got him at 122. We do got pick 111. I just don't know if he'll fall.
That's gonna actually happen. And that's my thing, right? So like with me, Malik Washington, I believe is worth the gamble at this point because I look at it this way, man. Like, yeah, Roman Wilson, I get it, but this was again a predominantly run heavy offense.
Right.
Donnie Mitchell really kind of ran through him, so he didn't see, in my opinion, he's got a lot of upside. I think he does. He's a second round grade, but in terms of somebody who can really be a playmaker for you that you don't have to worry about, I feel like Malik Washington is that guy. This is a guy who is 5'8", 200 pounds, right? I think freaking Roman Wilson is like 180 or something like that, and he's like 5'11".
Yeah,
but
5'11".
Yeah, Malik Washington plays bigger than his size, man. He reminds me of Steve Smith Sr. I love how the guy runs routes. I love his ability to go ahead and be an impact guy in the slot. I think that you bring him in there alongside a guy like freaking Garrett Wilson, alongside a guy like freaking Mike Williams, and he can immediately contribute. I don't think you have to question whether or not he's going to go ahead and be able to get on the field at the same time as those guys. And I think with the ball in his hands, he can do damage, man. He's one of my favorite players at the wide receiver position. Again, I think this is a guy who goes early in the second if he was 6 feet tall. If he was 6 feet tall, this guy is nowhere dropping down into the third. He's going to be in the second. So I know it's going to be considered a reach, but in terms of needing wide receivers and how he would complement this roster, I'm going Malik Washington here, man. I would go Malik Washington. I know we got to vote on it as a trio, but if it was me,
no, this is you.
This is you. Everybody has their own individual draft. This is you. Unless we so I know there was some trade offers, but that's the only thing we really need to vote on.
Are there trade offers?
Drop 8, take a next year's 5th,
next. Reject them both.
Yeah. It's not great.
Not great. Yeah, so for me, I think like Malik Washington is the guy, man.
Gunny,
I think Malik Washington.
I like the route running from him most about
him.
He's
better route runner than Roman Wilson. Better route runner than Jalen McMillan. I don't know much about Johnny Wilson from Florida State, but better route runner than Jermaine Burton.
Was the 6 foot 7 dude that has some athleticism, can't really catch for shit, but has some
That's why I
Has a
don't
couple
know.
highlights. Yeah.
I don't even know why he's doing that high, but okay, I don't even know who the guy is. But
Yeah, 6'6", 231.
so he's a tight end. He's pretty
Has a
much
lot of traits,
a
but yeah.
receiving tight end.
Damn,
That RAS score of a 9.7.
mother.
Let me see what Malik Washington's. What's Malik Washington's RAS score?
Yeah, we did that too. And now who we're doing
8.63. Ultra explosive. Yeah, yeah. It's
Like
Malik
I said,
Washington, bro. It's Malik Washington.
Okay.
I've been liking this dude for a long time. I think he's more polished than Roman Wilson. And again, I see people saying Roman Wilson in the chat, but I think we know of Roman Wilson because he happened to be on the team that went to the championship. And because of that, he gets some extra clout, so to speak. I don't think if you put him and Malik Washington in the same wide receiver room that he's beating out Malik Washington. It just wouldn't happen. He'd be coming after Malik Washington if he played at Michigan. I'm gonna go Malik Washington with this one. That's my pick.
Either one is good with me. I would have gone either one of those guys.
Who are you officially taking, Gino?
Like I said, Roman Wilson or Washington for me. I like both guys. I love the route running from Washington. I like Wilson's speed. And overall, though, in this stage of the mock drafts that I've done, I've either picked between Wilson and Washington. So either one's good with me. I like Gunny's pick no matter what, though.
All right, you officially want Malik Washington on your
yeah, sure, yeah.
All right, let's drop him in your draft class. All right, bear with me because I'm not as dead set that this needs to be a wide receiver.
Shocker.
Y'all didn't blow my head off before, but I said
Shocker.
there's some guys in round 4 that I still really, really like. I just want to see who happens to be here. Damn it. And I knew this was probably going to happen. Okay. So
you're looking defense?
not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
Safety would have been the only position I would have looked at seriously, but
I understand that.
The draft class has kind of shown enough that not the draft class, the coaching staff has shown enough that not that you can just plug and play whoever, but there's still a lot of highly athletic guys that'll be there in day 3 that I think we could take advantage of. What I'm looking at realistically is the situation I talked about before where I may take a guard. The guard I want, though, is not the one that everybody goes crazy about. I'm just wondering if he's going to last. So I really like, obviously, Christian Mahogany. I like Dominic Pooney, but he's kind of essentially the guard's version of Troy Fautano, a guy that can fill in at some other positions. But he's obviously more of a guard. But Mason McCormick is the guard that I want. Mason McCormick is a ridiculously athletic guard, elite explosion at his position, and he's really just kind of dominated the opposition at South Dakota State. So he's one of my guys. I'm trying to think if he'll fall to me, because if not.
So DK, I like where your head's going with that. For me, if it was a 4th round, I would have. If you go back to OG real quick. So the guys that I like there are Mahogany. I do like McCormick, Adams, and then there was one other guy down there.
Zach Zinter, probably.
Yeah, it was Zinter. I do like those 4 guys. So I like where you're heading with this, but right now I'm not going that direction. But I like where you're going with it.
I think he's still on the board. How do I play this?
What do you guys think of Brendan Rice? I always wanted to pick your brain about that with you guys.
Devontae Walker and Brendan Rice were the 2 guys that I immediately latched onto when I started kind of looking at mid-round guys for like round 3, round 4.
That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah.
I'll take over Bryce.
I'm trying to think.
Say that again, Gunny.
I'll take Walker over Rice, man. I mean, in all actuality, I don't think Rice does anything really special. Like, he does a lot of things good.
Just the name.
It's the name. I think recognition that has him even being considered as being a draft pick. He most likely would have been an undrafted free agent otherwise. But for me, I think in terms of Walker, the upside in terms of the athleticism, the guy's a freak in terms of his size and speed. I just think that you can work with that more so than a guy who's just Yeah, he plays football. He plays wide receiver, but his dad was an all-time Hall of Famer. That's why I think
Gutty, this situation reminds me so much of Randy Moss's kid from the LSU tight end. It's the name. It's just the name. He didn't
name
do
recognition.
Exactly. He reminds me of that so much.
Yeah. If anything, if I was his father, I'd be disappointed in how he turned out.
Oh, for sure. Oh my God, he's in the CFL right now.
How do we share genes? This makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
He's
playing somewhere in the CFL right now. Thaddeus Moss.
God damn it! I'm stuck in a situation because I want to double dip at wide receiver in this class, and I'm trying to think about how I can pull this off, but I think I might actually end up doing something crazy here. I'm trying to think.
DK, when it comes to these drafts, you always do something a little bit crazy. So this is nothing new for anybody.
Hold on. I think. Hold on, let me play the numbers in my head. If I do this, can I still? God damn it!
Wow.
I'm trying to figure out how I really want to play this out. Because I'm seriously considering. I'm still one that says we need to find a long-term partner for Quinnen Williams, and you can get a day 3 guy and develop him up. But I really like the pairing of potentially having a Braden Fisk next to Quinnen. And I'm trying to think if I'll be able to pull off, and I guess just for the sake of everybody else, the thought process would be grab Braden Fisk now. I would end up trying to get Mason McCormick, the guard, with my next pick, and Luke McCaffrey as my wide receiver after that. Because there's another day 3 guy that I love that was at the Shrine Bowl. I think wide receivers probably offense just needs more help than anything else. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to go with Jalen McMillan. I like him as a starting slot receiver. I think the only concerns realistically with him is injury. But you've seen him arguably be the number 2 weapon in that offense when he's been on the field. It's crazy to say that Penix could have potentially produced like 3,000-yard receivers. But I think he did really, really good. I think he'll be an elite challenge to take the starting slot position from Xavier Gibson. I think he can also give you some outside versatility in certain packages while giving you those gadget plays. I'm going to go Jalen McMillan.
Jalen
McMillan, huh? Okay.
I just realized I was supposed to be selecting Malik Washington, but we got it down.
Did you select Malik Washington?
No. In my head, I was looking at it and I ended up picking him.
Yeah,
hold on.
I was just about to say.
Jalen.
He was like,
dude, he jumped ahead, Gunny. He jumped ahead. He jumped ahead.
So what do we got? 111 here.
And this is you. So I already went. Gunny went. Now it's you.
What is Jalen McMillan doing on the board?
Did you just get McMillan? DK?
That's what I said. Yeah, I meant to put Malik Washington and Jalen McMillan ended up getting drafted.
He said, "JK Gunny."
Oh my god!
My turn.
Oh
Fail.
my god.
Okay. We'll end up going with Gunny's pick for this one when I do the actual selection. But I'm kicking things off, we're talking about officially day 3 here. But if we want to look at things, like I mentioned, Mason McCormick is still on the board. For me, I think you have to try to double dip at offensive line and at wide receiver. Give the offense as little reason to say we don't have talent as possible. So Mason McCormick is almost guaranteed to be my pick. Although for what is worth mentioning, A safety that I really love right now is Dadrian Taylor Demerson. He's a guy that can play not only deep field, he can come up into the box. And one of the things that I loved most is that when you seen him out during the Shrine Bowl, when you seen a lot of his teammates and even guys that he just met around the Shrine Bowl talking to him, he immediately commanded the room, essentially quarterbacked the defense for him. And he has a lot of explosive traits. So I kind of love everything that he'll bring in terms of what the coaching staff will love from an athletic standpoint. And he already seems like he's kind of ahead of the ball in terms of being a pro's pro. So if I had to go defense, he would be my pick. But for me, I'm going to shore up the offense as much as possible. I'm going to go Mason McCormick. But Gunny, where you at with it?
I'd be opening up the wide receivers right now. I'm with the Freedom House 1984. Since we missed out on a potential top 3 guy at wide receiver, if I can get another wide receiver here that can potentially come out and push Allen Lazard to the bench or the practice squad, I would do it. I'm looking at who we have left. Can you scroll down real quick?
Yep. You say you want tackle, or are you still looking at wide receiver?
Wide receiver.
Got you.
Honestly, y'all gonna think I'm crazy. Honestly,
No,
Luke McCaffrey.
That's why I was thinking. I'm with you.
Man.
I'm with
Luke
you.
McCaffrey, man, has
Let's
impressed dramatically. I kind of feel like he's one of those guys where he's underrated, and he's also being being discussed a lot because he's Christian McCaffrey's brother. But if you watch this kid's tape, man, we're talking about another guy with clean route running ability. He can run every route under route tree, good size, good athleticism, and work ethic, not to mention high football IQ. And listen, I'm making sure if an issue was to happen with any of our top wide receivers, that we're not looking at a situation where Allen Lazard winds up being wide receiver 2 or 3. God help us. So for me, if it was my pick right here, I would be double dipping on wide receiver as well, because we missed out on one of those top guys in the first round. And yeah, man, I think for me it'd be Luke McCaffrey. I've another guy that I've kind of been keeping an eye on and where he might fall. And I think here he's a value pick, and he's a guy that can go ahead and come in and potentially contribute again. He can run every route, high football IQ, nice soft hands. Right, and he's going to have an opportunity to have a guy like freaking Aaron Rodgers getting him the ball. So that'd be my pick. It'd be Luke McCaffrey in this situation.
He improved a lot this year. I really like him.
He
I
did.
agree.
He really did.
I agree. My picks.
He improved in the ways that matter. It's not like he had catching problems and then those suddenly improved along with everything else. Like, he's been consistent as a pass catcher, and then you've seen his athletic traits help boost certain elements of his game.
People forget that he used to be a quarterback. He played quarterback for a while before he transitioned to be a wide receiver. So that's why I think his IQ is so impressive. The guy can find open space in zones. He finds the soft spots in defensive schemes. Like, he's a wide receiver that can process the field like a quarterback. He just doesn't have the arm talent to go ahead and stay that quarterback. So 6'2", I think he is, 6'3" almost, 200 plus pounder. He ran like what, it was like a 4.4. 40 or something like that at the combine, something like that.
They're saying about him. Oh, I don't know. I know the Ravs was pretty high, but yeah, I think he ran like a 4.4. I think his thing. I only remember the unofficial time, and it was something like 4.44 or 4.46. Either way, it was decent.
Like what? I think either 12 or 13 touchdowns last year. Almost 1,000 yards. I know he was just shy of 1,000 yards.
12.
It was 12 touchdowns.
Just
shy of 1,000 yards, man. Like, I think he had a drop rate of like 3.2%. Like, this is a guy that I think, again, he comes into at this level. You got a guy like Aaron Rodgers. He has the football IQ. 4.46. Okay, 6'2", 200-pound kid, man. Yeah, I think you can't really go wrong with adding double dipping into wide receiver spots, since we missed out on one of the top guys in the first round. I'm with the Freedom House on this one. I would definitively go Luke McCaffrey if it was me.
The picks that I would pick right here instantly when you go wide receiver, I was looking for McCaffrey all the way. Rice is just a name for me. I know people are high on just because of his dad, but McCaffrey, I really like. That's why I kept saying, "Gotta say it." Piss some people off. Say it.
Yeah.
So McCaffrey, my eyes are McCormick. I really like the safety from Georgia, Tyke Smith, and I do like McCaffrey. If I was going to be right here, I would have gone with those 3 picks. So those 3 are good with me. So whatever you guys want with those 3.
Okay, so officially, Gunny would want McCaffrey. Let This is 111. Good. I missed yours. You said you're rolling with who?
If I had to go pick those three, it would have been McCormick, Tyke Smith from Georgia, or the safety, and then the McCaffrey. But I do like both your guys' points. So right now, since it's wide receiver heavy and gotta get some out, I would go with McCaffrey right here.
All right, McAfee and McCaffrey. I would assume McCaffrey would still be here. I won't know based on us picking him here. What did we pick again? 134.
It's coming.
I would get the guy I would want. I'm going to stick on Mason McCormick. Let me just Mason Mac. And this time I will make the correct pick in Luke McCaffrey. Let me see. What did I have out there? Because I had a poll. So far, me and Gunny are tied at 40% for who loves their draft class the most. Gino, you're at 20.
Whatever. Who cares? You either love me or hate me. It don't matter.
Here. Fire. So Gino, you're back on the board. Where do you want to look at for your second fourth rounder?
Where are we in 4? Oh, if this is 4th? Okay. Go to defense safety real quick. Okay, some Smith's.
Tyke Smith, Oladapo.
Smith's my guy, still there. Go to linebacker real quick. Knight, Casey, Jacobs, Eichenberg. Okay, go to D tackle. Jefferson. That's what I was looking at. Jefferson. Go to offensive line. Go guard for me. Oh, Robinson is still there. Didn't you guys like Adams in Adams, right? Or no?
I'm not too much of an Adams fan, personally.
Okay, Robinson.
I don't know much about him.
I like Cohen.
Yeah. Owen's good
Owen's
too.
One of my guys. I like Laumia out of Utah.
Laumia's good too.
The only other name I know is Aaron Frost, and that's because I was looking at somebody else. But
I'm not going Johnny. I don't agree. Cornerback. I don't want cornerback right now. Let's go back to defense real quick, and then go to safety real quick. I really like Tyke Smith. I know he's not everyone's cup of tea, but 4th round. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna go. I really want to protect Aaron Rodgers this year so much. So I think I'm gonna go with the guard. I'm gonna go Cohen.
You want offensive?
What do you guys think?
Cohen, Javion Cohen. I mean, a reach technically, even just not according to here. I just figured he'd be probably like a a round 6 guy. But I mean, at this point, when you get to day 3, I think if you look at all 32 teams draft boards, just one round, let's say we're looking at round 5, I think almost every player between those 32 selections will probably be different. And I literally mean different players, not just a different order with the same guys in it. So if you love the guy here, I say get him.
You take him.
Cohen. Yeah, go for it.
This is round 4. This is
everyone cool with that, Gunny? You cool with that?
134.
So we went. What have we done so far? We've gone off the tackle, 2 wide
Gunny,
receivers.
you have tackle and 2 wide receivers. Chino, same thing for you. Yeah, you guys have the same players across the first couple picks.
Honestly, I'm not too mad at Johnny's suggestion here, looking at the cornerback position.
Cornerback?
All right, let's do it.
Only because we're going into a contract year again, right? And this goes back to my conversation about how impactful it would be.
Oh, the guy I wanted isn't even here.
DJ Reed, right? A guy that gets to sit behind and learn from DJ Reed is not a bad thing, right?
Who
like
took him?
Going into year 2 and having to go ahead and understand the defense, vice going into year 1 next year, understand the defense, or where I look at it and be like, this could be interesting. So let's see. We got
fucking Colts took my
Johnny
guy.
Dixon's there still.
Smith Wade,
Cam Hart. Is that
You want me
the
to go
top?
down a little more?
The top is Cam
Yeah,
Hart.
this the top. Yeah.
All right, so let's go down a little bit.
Jones, Pritchett,
DeAndre Prince is there. Ooh, Monroe's still there. Quentin Newsome.
Abraham,
damn.
Blades
My
Jr.
guy gone? Miles Jones. All right, yeah, nah, these are guys you can grab later. Johnny Dixon is somebody that I think he'll be there in the next round for us. Yeah, I'm gonna go offensive line on this one too. Then I think we can grab some of these guys in the next round.
You want tackle or guard?
Guard.
I'm gonna go guard.
Yeah, Cohen.
Who are you looking at?
Yeah, Cohen. That's who I was
You want
going.
Cohen too?
Yeah,
Yep.
so we both got
Already?
Cohen on that one.
Javion Cohen.
I understand what you guys are saying about the CB, but I don't know why. I'm really
So let me
liking
see.
offense.
You guys have a tackle, a guard, 2 wide receivers. I have tackle, wide receiver, guard, and let me see who's at wide receiver still. Javon Baker should technically be the obvious pick, but he has those off the field issues that screws everything up.
Right.
Just like technically if Tavondre Sweat was here, I'd probably seriously look at him because he had that
Yeah, I remember
gun issue or whatever it was. So I expect some of those guys to fall. But there's value at edge. I don't think I want to go there though, because we really need DT. And I think this may be a little rich for Justin Eboigbe, who I would probably pick. And cornerback, I know for sure my guy is going to be there in like the 6th. So let me look at running back. And I think the guys that I want there will still be there. So I think the option for me will come down to safety, DT, and wide receiver. And who did I pick again? I ended up taking Jalen McMillan.
Oh, yeah.
Who is my slot guy. I
like that pick.
So the issue that I would see right here is that most of these other guys are going to be like slot type players, except maybe Jalen Coker. I'm probably going to do. I don't have as much of a problem with Brendan Rice as everybody else does. I think he has strong hands. I don't think there's anything that stands out about him. I just think he's a consistent player. Probably will never break the mold with anything, but I think he can get you a solid 700 to 800 yards consistently, and maybe he'll have a breakout season or two. Plus, you're still going to get the coaching technically from his dad. He's going to get the Aaron Rodgers boost. I want a guy that's more of a boundary guy. I would take Taj Washington, but he's pretty much purely a slot guy. And I don't want the headache of Javon Baker. I can wait later for some guys I like Cornelius Johnson, Ahina Smith, Josh Cephas, Anthony Gould will probably be a good pick, but I think Rice is further ahead than them. I'm going to go Brendan Rice. I think he can comfortably beat out Alan Lazard to be that 4th guy and maybe push to replace Mike Williams for 2 or 3 games. Let me think this over. I can wait on those. And I know my guy here is going to be here. How many picks do we got left? 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 3 or 4.
I'm trying to think in my head. A wide receiver.
3
I want to go
after this.
Safety. Yeah, I'm gonna do Brendan Rice. Here we go. This was Gino. You kicked us off. This was your pick, right? It was one of your two. I don't think I can.
Yeah, no, Cohen. Yeah,
Cohen.
Cohen. Yeah, Cohen. There you go. And then Gunny's
So
the
who's
next
up next? It's Gunny
one.
again,
Gunny,
right?
and then you. Yeah. So yeah.
Alrighty. I don't know if any names are gonna strike interest for
Well,
you all.
Your guy went.
Yeah, see,
Dempson.
Theo Johnson is gone for people that wanted a late tight end. Oh
Yeah,
my
Theo
God,
Johnson is a dog. That's the guy I was
Yeah.
hoping to pick up in this freaking round. Damn it,
they
man.
took some of my guys already.
Is Knox
I
still
might have-
there? I think Knox is gone. Is
Talking
Knox
about the cornerback.
tight end?
Let me just see here. Knox. Trey Knox.
Okay.
Eichenberg, for those that wanted a linebacker. Boybe's gone. Cornelius Johnson's gone for my guy. Joe Milton, so no superbly gifted quarterback. Caden Wallace, Keaton. Yeah, so there's some names I see that hurt, but I live. Gunny, what are you thinking?
Okay, so
Tackle,
don't mind
two wide
me.
receivers, and a guard for you so far.
I had to get on the bigger screen so I can go ahead and see. Can you show me the cornerbacks real quick?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, so Johnny Dixon's at the top.
All right, so Johnny Dixon's still there. I think he ran like a 4.5 40. Let me see. Keep scrolling. What round are we in right now?
This is 6.
A 6th round. All right.
So we got three picks left, including this one. So it's 3 total.
Keep
All
scrolling.
right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's go back up. Because I don't see. Hold on. Is Hampton gone? Dominique Hampton, is he still available?
Yeah, he looks like he's gone.
Son of a bitch, man. Who grabbed Dominique Hampton? I thought I was going to be able to sneak him on.
He looks like he went a minute ago.
He
so
did. What? There's no way. No, he's not a 4th.
I can't believe he went over Kalen King.
There's no way.
Oh my God, we're in the 3rd.
Bro, there is no way that man went in the 3rd round.
It's not looking like it.
I don't see him.
Hold on.
Dominique Hampton.
Why is he?
I can't even.
I wonder if they made him a safety, maybe. Oh, because they have him.
Oh, they probably did. I mean, he's a big guy though. I think Dominique's about 6'2", 6'3". He could be a safety. It's possible. Which is why I was wanting him, because of the fact that he can go ahead and give you some versatility in the backfield as a guy that can go ahead and play safety and cornerback. Love that dude's speed, man. The straight line speed on that guy to go ahead and close the distance is just, it's disgusting for a guy his size. But he's probably gone. All right, then.
Oh, Jigga made it in.
Jigga, what's good,
See you,
bro?
my guy.
Jigga's here. Ah, crap.
Whoa, wait.
How she be playing receiver from Luke McCaffrey?
You saying it like that?
Oh, dude, he does this to me all the time. This is just what we are.
Dead.
Nah. What's up, Jigga? How you doing?
Six. This is
Jigga, I was mad aggressive. Come on, man. You know how I am with each other. The odd couple. Oh, that's funny. I like that name.
I'm gonna go Johnny Dixon here. I'm pretty sure Hampton's gone. I'm gonna go Johnny Dixon, and the reason why I go Johnny Dixon is because this is a guy again that I think he had about 4 passes defended last year.
You might get him with the next pick
Interception.
if you want him.
Say it again.
So you might get Hampton with the next pick if you want him.
Oh,
He's
Hampton is there.
226 on the
Ooh,
board.
that's where I'm going next.
Well, maybe we'll see because we picked 256 next. He's 226 on the board,
I'm
but
at 185 right
he
now.
looks like he's away. Oh well, he has a handful of people ahead of him.
I don't understand why. I love Dominique Hampton.
6'2", 215.
Yeah, the
Super
dude's a
senior.
freak. Yeah, I'm changing my mind. I'm going Dominique Hampton. I'm
Yeah?
going Dominique Hampton. I don't want to lose him. Listen, Dominique Hampton is a freaking savage, bro. This kid is like 6'2". I want to say like 220 pounds. He runs like a 4.4 40. The guy has straight line speed for days. The ability to go ahead and close on wide receivers is impressive. He can literally get an interception and you're not catching him. The dude is gone. He can also be an impact in the run game. Love his size, love his speed. He plays safety. He can play cornerback. He's done both at the college level, at a high level. So I'm going Hampton for my pick here because I don't want to see him disappear by the next round.
All righty, Gino, what are you thinking?
Go to the safety position for me.
Patrick McMorris is at the top.
Damn. So Smith's gone. I would have went with Smith, Dixon, or Hampton. So since Dixon and Hampton are still there, since Hampton's a safety, because I in a lot of my mock drafts I would go safety at this position. I do like Hampton. I do like McMoms too. Yeah, Gunny, we're just on it today, I guess. I'm gonna go with Hampton right here.
Boom, boom, boom.
Safety room is complete, and he can learn.
Yeah. Especially with Chuck Clark. Chuck Clark's going to bring so much to the safety room, man. I love it.
Wait.
I love it. Just to have him healthy. Oh my gosh, it's going to be awesome. I hope. Fingers crossed. I'll knock on the wood.
Yeah. Knock on wood.
All the wood.
We hope they're going to be healthy.
Okay, so for me, I'm almost positive I know where I want to go, but let me just look at. Yeah, and I think at least one of these guys should be here. So this is one of 3 picks left. And the way I'm going to play this is. Let me think what I want to do.
Hampton in that championship game was solid too.
He really was.
I mean, people don't talk about it enough, but if you look at the film, he was, oh man, until third, fourth quarter, then yeah, rest is history.
Okay, I think what we are going to do here, for me, I'm going to go running back Blake Watson. So this is a guy that when you want to talk about explosion, his nuts, runs a 4.4, has ridiculous. He jumped almost 42 inches in the vertical, had a crazy 11-foot broad jump. So you're talking about numbers that aren't far off from a guy like what was his name? Byron Jones, when he was coming out at cornerback position. Originally played receiver. So I think one of the things that we're missing as a strong option in that running back room is somebody that has hands. Obviously, we know what we want Breece Hall to be. But as high as I was last year from the athletic profile on a guy like Abandi Kanda, he just didn't really show a lot physically. that he really knew how to play the position, or at least that we really wanted him out there. Couldn't pass protect. This is a guy that I think will satisfy at least two of those requirements. He's going to get out there and risk pretty much everything body-wise to make sure he keeps everything in front of him. And then he's going to get out there and dominate some people when he gets the ball in his hand out wide. So Blake Watson for me. You guys have went Dominic Hampton. And I believe this circles back to me for one of our last two. And I'm curious who, damn, that's a lot of names that are coming off.
Yeah. I was just like, damn.
It's trash. All right, so let me see. Dominic Watson.
Dixon went.
Christian Jones. I'm surprised he lasted this long. Christian Jones was a guy that I think I saw Tigo talking about taking like way in the third. Logan Lee would have been one of my DT guys.
Logan Lee is
Bonnie
nice.
Richardson comes off there. Mohamed Kamara would be nice for those to still want another edge. Sione Vaki was probably going to be one of my safety guys.
I was just about to say this, but I like what Johnny said in the comment because me and him are on the same play. What about Anthony Good? Is he still there?
Anthony Gold is
Good, not Gold, not Good. Sorry.
Yeah, he's still there. Bub Means is another guy. Like Xavier Weaver is good. Who else? Marcus Rosemy had some pretty good Shrine Bowl moments. I'm not familiar with the rest of some of these names. AJ Henning, I know. Yeah, I think I'm good on wide receiver at this point, though.
Yeah.
So let me think. What do I have? I have a tackle, or let's just call him an offensive lineman, Fautanu. I have a slot receiver. I have a guard. I have Brendan Rice. So 2 receivers, wherever you want to put Fautanu, guard, running back. I'm not a fan of drafting a tight end. I had the guys that I liked, like Theo Johnson. I like Jaheim Bell, but I think you leave it a competition. We know that the staff really likes Kenny Yeboah. See if Zach Kuntz has really done anything with the full season he had to pretty much redshirt the off season. Let's see what he can become. So for me, I think I would start seriously considering what quarterback do we want. And then I still need to try to fill some holes like defensive tackle and safety, potentially cornerback. Oh, actually,
we already got cornerback though with Hampton.
Right?
No, that's safety. My bad. That's safety. Damn. Sorry.
If you guys want to play him at cornerback, that's fine. But I would still need one.
Sure.
The guy that I've continuously been impressed with is Quantez Stiggers. I'm taking him. A guy that already essentially has pro experience being in the CFL, even though he skipped out on college. One of the things I loved most about him is he seems like he does have that DJ Reed mentality. I'm trying to think, what was the old Chargers cornerback that was also only like 5'9" but used to murk people?
Recently or like back?
No.
Like,
We're talking back in the day. Not super back in the day. We're talking about when like we had a Revis, so like 2010s era.
It's not Cromartie.
Hold on.
Mark's like 6'3".
No. Yeah.
Oh, I'm just naming names.
Hold on. I will have it in a sec. I'm thinking like Chris Harris. Is it Chris Harris?
Oh, Chris Harris.
I thought Chris Harris was a little taller. I think I'm still thinking about somebody
Like
different.
5'9". Chris Harris was
okay, then yeah, it might be him then.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's
short.
him. So yeah, I think he fits one of those smaller molds, but for guys that play a lot taller than he actually is. But I'm very impressed with his ability to adapt to a bunch of the different environments in a quick manner, going from college and dropping out to going to the CFL and then playing on the different fields, from combines to pro days to CFL to Shrine Bowl. And you've seen him stand out at each point. So for me, Quantez Stiggers would be my guy. And I think he's an option where you look at him as, I don't know where you guys lean on this, but I think you're going to have to pick between DJ Reed and a Michael Carter II. And if we are going that route, I'm going to say it's probably going to be MC2 that I keep.
100%.
So this is a guy that I think can potentially try to give you a solid option at both spots.
Yeah, now without question, it's going to be DJ Reed that unfortunately winds up probably leaving.
Yep.
Oh my God, I haven't done research on Quantez Stiggers, so I'm going to have to,
Yeah,
some
I mean,
tape on this guy. I haven't watched him.
I watch CFL games, but I don't watch them enough to know like some. I only know some Stiggers. I haven't really done much on, but I do watch CFL sometimes. I want to look for specific players. Stiggers
Yeah,
has not
so he
popped
was a
up
beast.
on my radar yet.
Other highlights would be he won CFL Rookie of the Year. He won their Most Outstanding Rookie Player of the Year. Had 5 picks. So he's a playmaker. He's just all around pretty solid. And as a guy that is coming in immediately to probably, not probably, to replace Bryce Hall and challenge Brandon Echols, I think he can get the job done. I guess we might as well. I guess I'll just knock out both picks in terms of who I would want. I think I'm going quarterback here. The guy that I want is Davius Richard. It's a lesser known name. So he's a guy from HBCU background, gives you the ability to go out there, make plays with his legs, has a strong enough arm to attack all levels of the field. Very patient, being able to go through his progressions and not in a negative manner. His setback has kind of been health and, of course, competition level. But I think this is a guy that you can slot in, and he looks like he has timing down pretty effectively in terms of getting the ball out there to guys where they expect him to be. So he's a guy that also has a commanding presence. I talked about the safety, Dadrian, that I really loved. I think you see a lot of that in this guy, Davius Richard, as well. So he is most likely my Mr. Irrelevant pick.
We got the last pick now?
Yeah, so you two still have your final 2 selections.
So we're in round. Oh, this is round 7.
Round 7. So we got our back.
Let me see what the quarterbacks look like.
Hartman, Leary, Slovis. I think the names most people would be familiar with.
Let me see the running backs real quick.
That's what I was going to. For me,
is where's my notes at? Frank Gore's son, is he there? Frank Gore, is it Junior? Is it Frank Gore Jr.?
Yeah, Frank Gore Jr.
Yep,
correct. Yeah.
People do not think highly of him.
McMillan or Gore. That's what I would go with for me because I'm an Alabama guy. So
listen,
I only know Gore and Cody Schrader here.
Frank Gore Jr. to me, I think right now is well, you know what? First, let me get the quarterback because I'm going to make him Mr. Irrelevant. Let's go with Pratt. Is Pratt still there?
Pratt. No, Pratt went off a while, ways
gone?
back. He goes in like 3rd, 4th round.
All right, well then Sam Hartman it is. Let's go ahead and bring in Hartman. This is going to be
Hartman's good.
Yeah, Hartman is again. This isn't going to be a guy that's going to go ahead and really like razzle dazzle you with arm strength and make bombs on the field at 60, 70-yard bombs. But this is a guy who's proven to be very accurate. He's displayed to have a good football acumen. Understands how to go ahead and find the soft spots in zone defenses, which is something that you don't usually see until you're at the NFL level. So he's pretty adamant in being able to do that consistently. He can make all the throws, man. He's here because he's dropped this far because he hasn't really flashed the ability to go ahead and be the reason why you win games. But I think, again, a guy sitting behind Tyrod Taylor and Aaron Rodgers can potentially be a guy that becomes a backup quarterback and can at least, spot you a game here or there or be the reason you don't lose games. So I think we're going to need to bring in a QB3. Zach Wilson's not going to be on this roster. I don't think we're going to go ahead and grab one in free agency. So it makes the most sense to go ahead and bring somebody in here. At the very least, he's going to be a practice camp arm. I think Sam Hartman has a little bit of an upside, but he's extremely limited in what he can do. But Sam Hartman is my pick here at 256. And at 257, without question, it's going to be freaking Frank Gore Jr. Now, I don't know if people know this, but Frank Gore Jr. Had 10 touchdowns last year, ran for over 1,000-something yards at a 5 yards per carry average. The guy can play ball. Now, I think the biggest thing about him is that he's not going to go ahead and break away from any kind of defenders to go ahead and get the 60, 70-yard long bombs. But this is a very reliable guy that's been freaking healthy. He's always on the field. He's shown the ability to go ahead and catch the ball. He's shown the ability to go ahead and run routes. But what's great about him, man, is that it takes contact to bring him down. He's got incredible balance. I would even say he's got like elite balance when it comes to bouncing off of tackles and maintaining his momentum moving forward. I just like what he brings to the game overall. You look at him as somebody who's going to dispel, Brees Hall, and on passing downs, you got a guy like Izzy. You can bring him in as potentially your third back. I prefer to go the veteran route. If the Jets go that route, I would prefer to bring in Zeke Elliott because he gives you something in terms of short yardage situations and pass protection. But in terms of bringing in a young guy that has the lineage, has the football IQ, really, if you looked at his tape, he didn't have a lot of flaws. It's just that he hasn't really done anything that's going to be like, wow, this dude is going to light the freaking NFL on fire. But if we can remember, neither did Frank Gore. So Frank Gore Jr. quietly, for me, hasn't just one of those guys who's just been working. And he's kind of made a name for himself. And I think you grab him here as your Mr. Irrelevant. You're not going to be upset about it. At the very least, he's going to be a guy that's going to go ahead and give you some relief for Brees Hall, who I think should push the offense through this season. And you have 3 backs on that roster. Izzy, again, getting hurt last year. We don't know if he can stay healthy for a full season. Bring another pair of fresh legs, young legs into this room, because at the end of the day, running back is a young man's game.
I am shocked, but touche.
All right, can you go down on the quarterbacks real quick? I just want to see more of the list.
Yeah.
Armstrong, Richard, Talavio.
How could y'all not take Tua's brother? What's wrong with y'all?
I'm good.
Pass.
Yeah. Go Jets ? So go to running backs too for me again. Okay, McMillan, Milton. Okay, yep. Yeah, at this stage, I either went with Gore Jr. or McMillan. I'm just biased because I'm an Alabama fan. So those two guys, or at the wide receiver, at the QB position, sorry, I would have went with if Travis went down, I would have picked him, but sometimes you just never know with QBs. But yeah, it would have been either Travis, Hartman, or Leary. But if I'm going to go right here, it definitely would be Hartman. And then at the end, if I'm going to go just based on potential and talent, I would go with Gore Jr. I think McMillan for Alabama just needs more reps, needs more everything. He needs to be coached up a little bit more. So yeah, then going with Gunny, Hartman, and then Gore Jr. Because I really think we should get a running back and backup quarterback at the end of this.
I'm curious, what's the difference for maybe it's where he's getting picked at, but what's the difference between Brendan Rice and you in terms of the lineage, and then Frank Gore Jr. and you for his position?
Oh, it's easy for me. Brendan Rice really has accomplished nothing at the collegiate level. I don't think he's really excelled in any capacity. You've got freaking Frank Gore Jr., who's back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He averages 5 yards per carry at the collegiate level, double-digit touchdowns. I love his ability to go ahead and pretty much move laterally. He's very, very agile running laterally as well. The contact balance, his availability, he can catch the ball. I just think he brings more to the table that you can work with at the NFL level. Whereas Brendan Rice, there's nothing impressive, man. He's not really fast. He's 6'3". That's about it for me. He's got the hype, but he doesn't really bring anything athletically to the table that you look at and say, yeah, you can work with that. He's been an average wide receiver at the NFL level, and wide receiver is significantly harder to play he's been average at best at the collegiate level, and wide receiver is harder to play at the NFL level. So for me, one of the most easiest positions to transition to the NFL is running back. A lot of times those guys can do it in college. They can do a lot of those things at the NFL level. And I just think you have a lot more traits in terms of what you've seen on tape with Frank Gore Jr. than that could translate to the NFL than you have with Brendan Rice. The name recognition thing for me isn't really the biggest reason, but for me, it's because he reminds me a lot of his dad in terms of reliability. He's going to go ahead and get you extra yardage. He doesn't go down on first contact. He's got a lot of that, but Brendan Rice doesn't remind me at all of his father. like in any capacity. Maybe
Yeah,
in
no, that's not
speed,
the
right?
same
They're
skill
both
set
not very
at all.
fast, but that's the biggest thing for me. And wide receiver is a much harder position to learn at the next level than running back is.
Yeah, I just think for me and my, I think with Rice, it just comes down to more discipline and more coaching. You could tell he takes off some plays sometimes when I've seen the film. And my dad met Jerry Rice. He drove him. He was promoting his energy drink company in St. Louis. And one of the things that Jerry Rice said, like he says, he loves his kid, doesn't matter where he goes, coach him up a little bit more, keep him humble, because that name does give off something. So it's going to be a lot of pressure. And I just think Gore is a little bit more ready than Rice is right now.
Fair play. Let me see. I had Hartman and Gore. The rest of this doesn't matter so much to me. Where are you? Cool. Jeez.
Well, minus McMillan, because Washington was supposed to be there. Keep that in mind.
So where do we end? It's funny to me to see it break down this way because y'all have the same draft class. So I'm not sure how me and Gunny have 38% and Gino has 23, but that's what it is.
Who cares? Honestly, I really don't. I'm still gonna sleep good at night. I don't care.
So we'll see how that turns out. But I think overall it's hard to not like kind of what the approach is for the most part. Double dipping at offensive line, double dipping at wide receiver. And I think you just have to try to find the best, I don't want to say value, but I guess best impact players potentially right away on defense. So you guys felt like that would be Dominic Hampton. Actually, you guys don't. Did we all only take one defensive guy? Yeah, we did. Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot of offense.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
As it should be.
I really snuck in.
I would have maybe gone with one more defensive guy if he was on here, but I'm really happy with this draft. So,
especially how it started off, right? Like when you look at how it starts off in terms of the disaster that it became, like it started off like, man, there goes everybody that's been mocked to us at pick 10. I think we rebounded quite nicely.
Where did Bowers go? Speaking of which, because
he went like 5th, I think.
7th. Jesus.
Where'd he go?
That doesn't make
he went
sense.
to the Titans.
Oh. There's no way. There's no way he's going to the Titans.
I think it could make sense because they really need weapon help too, which is why a lot of people thought they can take.
They have no O-line, and they like to run the ball.
Yeah,
it's not like they're running the same. It's not like they have they don't have the king back there anymore. So I don't know. I don't know what the thought process will be if they want to try to transform into a passing team now behind.
I had him going to
Levis's arm.
Bowers. I had Bowers either going to Vikings, Dolphins, Rams, and maybe the Chiefs. Maybe, because you never know how long Kelsey's going to last. So that's why those are my 4 people.
I'm only really surprised we didn't get slightly better trade options because you get Olu on the board still, regardless of the drawbacks. People are going to love him, a guy that's been ranked top 10 back-to-back years. Top cornerback on the board. JJ McCarthy's still there, so Broncos get lucky. Yeah, you still pretty much get your pick of tackle or the 4th best quarterback. Yeah, so weird. Oh, we did have a defensive guy go on the top. It was just a really weird way that it started out.
A lot of these are. It just blows your mind where these people go. It's just like, oh, why is he at 3rd? I'll take him, but okay.
I see people complain about this all the time, but realistically, I don't think this is out of the ordinary. I mean, we've seen the continuous teams always do something really weird, like the Patriots, for example, who didn't necessarily do that here. But then you have teams like the Raiders. They usually go and, take a fucking Clelin Ferrell with the 4th overall pick. Like, you have that weird stuff that kicks off. So I don't think it's out of the norm that something like this can happen. But yeah, this is probably one of the worst ways that the draft could kick off for us if we're just looking to trade down.
Yeah, like I was talking, and me and Mike, the stat guy, did ours. It was very similar in terms of the worst thing that could have happened. Literally, like all the guys, Bowers, freaking Adunze, Neighbor, everybody was gone. Even for Fashanu, I think was gone for us too in our draft. And I was just like, what the what do we do? And then we wound up getting a nice trade back opportunity that landed us Brian Thomas Jr. But man, it was rough to to see the guys that we've all been like focused and like salivating over be gone when it comes to pick 10. I was like, well, we should have probably traded up and made a move for Neighbors or MHJ. But I'm not lying, man. I think if Malik Neighbors drops to like that, I'm really starting to get the vibe that maybe a trade up is really not out of the realm of possibility. At first, I was just like, nah, man, that seems there's just no way. I don't see Joe would do that. But then somebody was just like, what do you mean? He's done it in damn near every single draft that he's been the GM. He's always traded up. What are you talking about? And I thought about it and I was like, this is true. He has made a move up in every single draft since he's been the GM. So it's just a matter of when he makes a move. So I mean, wait, not last year. Last year he didn't.
No. He did not do it last year. It was the years before. Yeah,
before that. So I don't know. I think a guy like Neighbors and MHJ could really set this freaking offense off on a whole other level. Put you in that conversation of potentially having one of the best wide receiver rooms in all of football. But I don't know if Joe D's trying to get away from some of the capital it would require to move up into that top 6 to grab one of those guys.
And not only that, like I think if DK. I in my personal opinion too, when it comes to draft, the Friday before, which is already a Friday draft before, all the crap that I've said in the pack about in the past about, oh, is JD gonna do this? No, he's gonna trade down. No, he's gonna stay. Now I'm like, whatever happens. I don't care anymore. Just get an impact player. Get your player on your board, best available. And if it really comes down to it, I guess go get Bowers. I guess. Whatever. But I'm still offensive line and I'm still wide receiver at the first.
Yeah, no, 100% for me. At this point, I've accepted the fact that the whole Bowers conversation will be a reality, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
After what Joe's done in the offseason, am I going to be upset that he thought, okay, I'm going to take a chance at this guy that's been deemed a generational player at the tight end position to add another weapon for my guy, Aaron Rodgers? No. If it works out, I'm going to be glad to be wrong about Brock Bowers. But I don't like how his game will translate to the next level in terms of his size and how he took advantage of how the offense ran through him and they schemed him open quite a bit. A lot of his freaking big plays was the guy just, running the middle of the field wide open, catching the ball. Like, so I don't know, man. I'm hoping I'm wrong about Bowers. I don't get it twisted. I hope I'm wrong if the Jets go that route. But if the Jets don't go that route, I am going to be watching Brock Bowers next year just because I want to see, like, do we avoid a bullet or do we mess up by not drafting this kid? Brock Bowers has become a guy now that's going to be tied to the Jets with me, at least with me, for the next 4 years, trying to see whether or not, man, should we have gone that route? Or if we did go that route, was it a hit? Because if you draft him at the 10th pick, the kid has to be an all-pro. You're drafting a tight end at number 10, he's got to be an all-pro. And I don't know if that's going to be his story, that he can be an all-pro. Can the kid be a good player at the NFL level? I'm pretty sure he can be.
Yeah,
if we drafted him later in the first, maybe even in the second, I would not argue. I'd be ecstatic about it. But at pick 10, I do not like Brock Bowers. That's just how I feel about it.
And then even after that, it's like if you get Bowers in yours playing with his idol in Aaron Rodgers, that's great. Maybe there might be form a connection, and Rodgers hasn't really formed a great tight end connection, even when he was with the Packers, maybe like a couple guys in there. But I think now it's like, if we don't get Bowers, what's Kuntz going to be? What's Conklin going to be with Rodgers? Everything is an up and down. Is Rucker going to be ready? Aboa is going to be behind him. It's always, I agree with you, Gunn. It's always going to be that Bowers situation every single time. And that's what has divided the Jets fans on Twitter. It's like, y'all are just going crazy over nothing right now. You on mute, DK?
Look,
Oh,
I'm over Bowers. Just to be honest, I'm over it.
Yeah.
I gotta that goes for really any first round pick that we've had that hasn't been on defense, which has been so few and far in between. When it comes down to just selecting offense, like, is part of why I'm curious how we plan on attacking it and if we actually truly end up leaning heavily for offense throughout the draft, because we haven't done a great job of picking up those guys. And when we have, either injury has screwed them over, or you're talking about the offensive line guys when we did have an elite O-line coach. So weapons always concerns me. And if it was a wide receiver, it would be different. Taking a guy like Brock Bowers, who's again more of a specialized role kind of guy. Concerning. I think that's mitigated with Aaron Rodgers, but outside of that, when he leaves, and we'll probably still be stuck with a guy like we'll probably still be stuck with Hackett for a year or two after Rodgers retires. Like, it's bad.
God, I hope not. But anyway,
I hope when Rodgers retires,
Hackett will go too.
Is going with him. In fact, you know what I hope Aaron Rodgers balls out so well that Hackett gets another head coaching job. That's what I hope. Anywhere else, just away from our organization.
Oh, shit.
I hope Hackett gets to be a head coach again for another team.
Oh shit! Well, hey, CFL.
I'm usually
UFL,
pretty chill about these things. Look, yeah, please go to college, go back there, get
CFL,
some fresh perspective,
UFL,
do something.
Get some training.
Go for it.
I'm usually pretty chill, right? Because like I've been wanting to trash a lot of our online coaches for a while, but I've always given the benefit of the doubt. Hackett fucked it up so bad that I just don't care.
I'm willing to give. I think Carter is going to be fine. I'm
I'm high on Carter
anymore. I'm not even worried about it anymore. I think I'm open
Warren
to that
Carter?
Still. No.
Keith Carter.
Talking about Keith Carter.
Oh, Keith Carter, the offensive
I've
line.
still been high on him.
I don't
I'm
give
still
a
open.
People
all the crybaby
disrespect
stuff
the
about how
job he's done at
hard
Tennessee.
Yeah,
I can't believe that.
To be fair,
top
2,000 babies.
top running game. Say it again.
Is the damn 2,000 babies? To be fair.
Oh, 100%, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he hurt my feelings. He didn't coddle me enough. He's so tough on us. Shut up! You can pay millions of dollars to play a sport. You ungrateful little.
Oh, my iPad doesn't work. Oh, fuck off and go get a new one.
When I heard some of those complaints, I was sitting there like, oh, this is it. It's this generation of kids playing football now. This is what you're going to see in a few of them. It's bound to happen.
Anyways.
Well, they better thank their lives they don't have 2-a-day practices anymore.
Right?
The good days.
The good days.
For everybody else still with us, appreciate you guys sticking around. We're going to wrap it up soon. I will be posting what our draft classes ultimately looked like at some point for those to take a look at again. But draft party, Gunny Gumby is going to be throwing a huge event. If you want to drop some info for everybody about that.
I sure can. Thursday night, we're gonna kick it off live. We're gonna be doing a massive draft watch party. You're gonna have me, DK, Gino, Dom C. You're gonna have Nick Shine. You're gonna have Mike the Stat Guy. There's gonna be a lot of us. I think that's everybody. I might have missed a couple of people. Jigga, my bad. Jigga Man Porter's gonna be there. Abby's gonna be there. We're gonna have quite the crew watching the first round of the NFL draft on Thursday night. But what's great about it is if you jump into the chat before we go live, right, and you predict what the AFC East is going to do in the first round, and you're also following everybody you see in the descriptions, channels, and I think I put channels and socials. Just make sure you're following the YouTube channels. Really is what is going to require. But if you want to follow us on everywhere, we appreciate it. But nonetheless, you make sure you're following us. But properly comment and predict what the AFC East is going to do, what the Patriots are going to do, what the Jets are going to do, what the Dolphins are going to do, and what the Bills are going to do. And if you don't get it accurately, that's fine too. If you get 2 out of 4, whoever guesses what the Jets are going to do is the first tiebreaker. So if you get 2 out of 4, and let's say you got the Bills right and the Patriots right, but the Jets wrong and the Dolphins wrong, but whoever got the Dolphins right and the Jets right, the Jets is the tiebreaker. If whoever has the Jets as a tiebreaker for the same amount of correct, we'll move on to the next tiebreaker, which is going to be how many wide receivers are going to go in the first round. as the first tiebreaker. She'll answer that question. And then the second question is going to be, will the tight end be drafted in the top 10? So do that, and whoever answer, if somehow, some way that multiple people got that right, then it's going to be based off of the timestamp of who commented on it first. So if I were you, I would jump on it's already on YouTube right now. The live draft party link is already on there. So if you want to jump on YouTube on New York Jets Situation Report and leave your comment now, you're way ahead of anyone else who's going to go ahead and leave it after you. So it's going to be a good time. We're giving away a Elijah Vera Tucker autographed jersey for who gets it right. It's going to be great. I hope to see you guys there.
And wait, there's more. We will be back next Friday at same time as we usually do, watching the draft, just chilling, talking about the first day as well. I know the Friday that starts at like 11 Eastern time AM, right? Or 12, or is it still that afternoon? Might be still that afternoon, right?
It's afternoon. I think,
yeah. Okay, that's Saturday then. But we'll be back. We'll talk
Saturday
about the first day.
Right.
Yeah. We'll be talking about Thursday going into Friday night, what we think our picks. So yeah, 2 days of all three of us. It'll be great. I'm looking forward to it. This is a holiday, baby. This is holiday.
Early Christmas gifts. Dope. Well, make sure y'all tune in. A lot of fun coming up next week. Draft is finally here. No more mock drafts. No more speculating. We'll finally be able to get into things. I'm interested to see if the Jets pull off an early move before draft day once again. Probably unlikely, but keep in tune. We'll catch you guys again. Appreciate you guys coming through as always. Jets Flight Squad out.
Ciao.